Hi guys, in this video we are going to discuss about VLAN tag, VLAN untag, access, trunk, native with practical. So there'll be two part in this um, for this concept. In part one we'll be discussing some theoretical concept, and in part two we'll be covering the practical with Cisco packet tracer. So VLAN is a virtual local area network. What it is actually, it it is split the broadcast domain. So let's say if a switch has VLAN number 10 and VLAN 20, so VLAN 10 broadcast domain is separate than VLAN 20 broadcast address. So if a PC connected on a port in VLAN 10, right, it broadcast, let's say it broadcast the send the broadcast packet, it cannot be listened to by a PC by a host in VLAN 20 and vice versa. So this is how VLAN actually segregate the traffic. Okay, segregate the broadcast domain in a switch. So VLAN, what is a VLAN tag? So in a frame, when you uh, so in a switch, when you configure a VLAN, right, in its database, and let's say this is a switch, and here if you configure VLAN, right, and put some ports in that VLAN. Let's say these are the two ports. We are configured VLAN 10 here, right? And we put VLAN 10, the this port in VLAN 10, and this port also in VLAN 10, right? So when a traffic comes, and if let's say if two PCs are connected here, right, on these two ports, and if a traffic coming from this host, let's say host A, and going to and another host is connected on this port, host B, and if host A wants to talk to host B, then it actually uh, the traffic will go to this port, and here it will be tagged. So when it's in VLAN 10, let's say access VLAN 10, so that traffic will be tagged with VLAN 10, right? And then when it reaches to this port, that will be untagged, right? So when it reaches this port and exit out of the interface, that VLAN this VLAN tag will be removed, and the untagged traffic will be reached to the host. So these are normal PCs. So normal PCs do not understand the VLANs. Like the virtual hypervisor like ESXi and some servers do understand the VLANs, but these these host normal PC, they do not understand the VLAN. So they send the untagged traffic to a switch port, and the switch tag the traffic with the respective VLAN, whatever the VLAN configure on those ports. And when the traffic leaves from the switch, the traffic will be untagged. So that VLAN tag will be removed while the traffic exit out of the interface, switchport interface, and untagged traffic reach to the host. So this is tag or untag. So access is nothing like access is a Cisco terminology to represent the tag, right? Tagging a VLAN, and trunk is basically we are if a port is having multiple VLANs, let's say if this switch is connected to another switch, right, like this, and we we have two VLANs, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, and we want to uh, we also have the same VLAN, VLAN 10 and VLAN 20 on this switch as well. So to pass all these two VLANs traffic, like extend the broadcast domain of these two VLANs, we'll be making this interconnection interlink between these two switches as trunk, right? And allow we can allow all the VLANs or required VLANs on this trunk. So trunk is nothing but we are extending the broadcast domain from another switch to another switch or a switch to a server. So we are taking extend the VLAN tag from one switch to the another switch or one switch to the another server. What is native VLAN? Native VLAN is very is a confusing term. Some says it's it untag the tag traffic or some says it's tag the untagged traffic. So what is native VLAN basically, is to avoid to clear that confusion. So I'll be explaining this as well in the practical how the native VLAN works. So native VLAN basically um, nothing but it actually tags the untagged traffic. So this host A actually doesn't understand the VLAN, right? And it sends the traffic to the switch port. So switch will receive the traffic on that switch port, and if let's say somehow this switch port will if we have native VLAN, let's say 10 right there on this switch port, so that switch port will accept the traffic and tag that traffic VLAN with VLAN 10, right? So let's say if we have this configuration on this switch port mode trunk, right? And switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 and switch port trunk native VLAN 10. So, so you're saying this port mode is not access, it's trunk. Okay, but host doesn't understand the trunk, right? Because it does not understand the VLAN. It sends the untagged traffic. So when it sends the untagged traffic, it cannot be tagged with VLAN 10, right? By this command, right? So to tag the traffic, right, we use this native VLAN 10, right? So when the traffic from this host A comes on this switch port, that will be tagged with VLAN 10, right? And and go to the network. So this is all about the VLAN tagging, trunk, untag, and native. So in the next video, we'll be covering this with the practical. I'll show you how that native works. We'll we'll discuss like when this port is in native VLAN, it will be able to able to ping this host which is on access VLAN 10, right? And so we will discuss all these all these terminology in our practical. So I hope this is informative for you, and I would like to thank you for viewing. Thanks.